Hey everybody, welcome back to The Pressing Matters. I'm Scott. Thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for your support. I'm sorry you can't see out the window. I know a lot of you like this view, but it is so bright out that I had to close it down a little bit. Do you want the good news first? Oh, I banged my finger. Oh, I didn't mean to I banged my finger, so don't think that I have something I don't know. Yeah. All right, let's start again. Do you want the bad news first, or do you want the good news? Give me the bad news first, Scott. Okay. So, if you've been following along with my videos, you know that I've been covering the Analogue Productions Living Stereo saga for a little while. I did a video that's essential viewing. It's called The Final Act for Analogue Productions Living Stereo. In that video, I talk about the disappearing titles and how I was concerned that this may be the last hurrah for Living Stereo. And it's proven to be true. Since that video was published, we lost a handful more. And then there was a brief reprieve of about a month where nothing happened. And then I got a message last night that another title has dropped out of print. A viewer sent me a message. He said I had this title in my cart and I went to get it the next day and it was listed as out of stock and I could not get it. I had to go on Discogs and pay $80 to get one. I'm going to show you this classic version. This is the title we're talking about. Bizet's L'Arlésienne Suites, and two works by Chabrier, by Jean Morel, and the Royal Opera House Orchestra. A beautiful Kenneth Wilkinson recording. This one is now gone. I had that in my cart 2 weeks ago, and I switched that title for a different one in my last order. And I'm so mad that I did that. But we just don't know. We don't know which one's going to go next. And again, my advice to you is to pick your favorites of what's left, the ones you must have, and make a plan to get them, because we don't know. No one expected the Morel to be a sellout. It wasn't even in the top of the bestseller list. There probably was 3 left on the shelf, and they're gone. So I looked around at the other audiophile retailers. Nobody has it. I looked on Discogs, as my friend did, and yes, they start at $80 and up. And they don't even know that it's out of print yet. When that happens, there's going to be an extra charge on top of the $80, I'm sure. So I think we're looking at like $100 or so for out-of-print titles in this series. That's serious. And unfortunately, that's gone. I do have a friend that has got 2 of them, and he's going to send me one. Well, we're going to trade for a very desirable record that he wants, which is fine. That's what the spirit of this hobby is all about. So I will have a copy of the Morel Bizet disc, and I will compare it to my original Shaded Dog pressing, a Victrola as well, the Classic 45, and the Analogue Productions. So I'm going to save that review for down the road. It's not urgent anymore. The urgent ones are the ones that are still in print that you need to know about. And fortunately, the good news is this is still in print. This is the Four Seasons. Vivaldi's Four Seasons. It's so shiny, you can't even get a good, whatever. Yeah, I saw this record one time, not many times, one time in my life. One time in a thrift shop. I saw a ragged copy. I said, what is this weird Living Stereo title? I've never heard of Societa Corelli. Who are they? Why are they doing the Four Seasons on Living Stereo? It seems such an odd choice. Looked at the back. I said, oh, recorded in Italy. You know, my ignorance, I was like, oh, they probably just licensed this recording from someone in Italy and some other label and slapped the Living Stereo logo on it so that they would have a version of the Four Seasons in their catalog. how wrong I was. Actually, RCA had a recording team in Italy to do the opera recordings. So they were available. They did the recording for this, and it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. I have 3 pressings I'm going to talk about today, but let's talk about the music first. Vivaldi composed this I would say it's kind of like a program music. It's suggestive of the seasons, and Vivaldi himself put these descriptions in the score, not to be recited, but to give an idea of what he had in mind when he was conceptualizing the 4 seasons. And it's very interesting, now that I know what they were, to hear the musical interpretations of those ideas. Things like birds chirping, storms brewing, shepherds taking a nap. What else? You know, falling down on the ice. The the peasants having a party. Yeah, there's all kinds of suggestive ideas throughout this that occur in these different seasons, and they're interpreted in a way that suggests it. And once you know these things, you can enjoy the music on a new level for sure. It's always been just beautiful music, of course. I've had several interpretations of this. One of my favorite is on Argo. I think it's Neville Mariner. It's a different sound though, completely different. It's a bigger orchestra with a more resonant space. And in this one, it's like a chamber music recording. They're right there in front of you, maybe 10 players or so. There's a solo violin, there's a harpsichord, and I think there's about 7 string instruments. So it's very intimate sounding, it's very precise, it's very beautiful with wonderful tone and excellent depth as far as the bass is concerned. I was really surprised about that. Some of these instruments go quite low, and it's a joy to hear this very clean, razor-sharp interpretation of the 4 seasons. The original pressing is the 1S shaded dog that a friend sent me for this review. This has been completely restored. Well, even he says it's not completely restored. He wants to do it some more. I think this record's been cleaned 8 times with this restoration method, but he insists that it's necessary, and he can see the progress as it goes on, and he showed me some of the videos. It's fascinating. I don't know how anyone could have the patience and time to do it, but he seems to be able to do it. And we're going to have him on the channel to discuss Living Stereo and his restoration ideas. So that'll be really interesting. I wanted to thank him for sending these to me. I heard the original pressing and the White Dog. This is the White Dog. I really should show you one of these because they like gleam. They're glossy black, really beautiful. He's onto something for sure. And he's got some theories about why these records usually are full of gunk. And it's a very interesting idea. That between the 2 of these, I think maybe the 1S maybe is just a little sweeter sounding, but they're so similar that I couldn't tell you in a blind test. I kind of had a blind test. I had them on one after another. I was enjoying the music, and oftentimes I forgot which one was on. And the last time I pulled it off after a wonderful session, it was the White Dog. So, you know, I think you're safe getting a White Dog if a 1S is elusive, but really there's no need to because we have the Analogue Productions version still in print for $40, and it's beautiful. It retains a lot of the sound of these originals. It's different. You can notice that it's different, but in a musical way. There's nothing to take away from the Analogue Productions. It retains that razor-sharp clarity and beauty of the interpretation, wonderful tone and detail, much more subtle detail apparent in the performance. Space is rendered a little bit better so you can really pick out the performers well. And Of course, it has the quietest surfaces, so it's a joy to hear. Really, this one is all I need. I am searching out original pressings where necessary, but in this case, for this recording, I don't feel it's necessary. This is beautiful. It's here, it's available, it's $40. And even if you don't think you need another Four Seasons, try to audition this somewhere, because you'll be surprised at this type of approach to this music. It sheds a whole new light on it, and it's just wonderful to hear. I'm so glad that they chose some offbeat titles to put into the last series, and this is one of them. I never expected to see a reissue of this, and I'm so glad they did it. It's really, really fun to hear, and opens a new door for me to enjoy the Four Seasons on a different level, a more intimate level. And that's what I love about this particular pressing. Let me know what you think in the comments about the Four Seasons. If you love it, if you're tired of it, if you want to hear a new version of it, well, here it is. I think you'll like the Baroque like a small string ensemble feel of it. It's very, very interesting, unusual for sure, and a lot of fun to listen to. So those are my thoughts on the Four Seasons. Let me know what you think about this and the news in the comments. And until next time, I'm Scott for the Pressing Matters. Have a great day.